Today we are going to talk about Preromanticism, which is better described as the Age of Sensibility. And these are the main points. The Age of Sensibility is usually placed between the Augustan Age and full Romanticism, roughly from 1740s to 1780s. It should not be seen simply as an unfinished form of Romanticism. Rather, it is a distinct cultural phase with its own values, themes, and literary forms. Its central idea is that feeling, sympathy, and emotional responsiveness are essential to moral life. While earlier neoclassical culture had valued order, reason, balance, and adherence to classical models, the literature of sensibility gave greater importance to the heart than to the intellect. Writers increasingly explored how human beings respond emotionally to suffering, to beauty, loss, and pity. So, first, feeling as a moral source. One of the key ideas behind sensibility is that people possess a natural capacity for sympathy. Moral behavior does not come only from rules or rational calculations, but also from an instinctive ability to feel for others. This explains why so much literature of the period is full of tears, scenes of distress, acts of compassion, and emotionally vulnerable character. The aim was often to show that a person who can feel deeply is also more humane. In literature, this tendency encouraged writers to focus on private emotion, inner conflict, and personal virtue rather than on public order or satire alone. Second point, the rise of the sentimental fiction. One of the clearest literary expressions of sensibility is the epistolary novel, which is the novel told through letters. This form allowed writers to present the most intimate thoughts and feelings of their characters. A major English example is, of course, Samuel Richardson with Pamela, or Virtue Rewarded, 1740-41, and Clarissa, 1747-48. These novels concentrate on the inner life of their heroines. What matters is not fast actions, but the emotional and moral experience of the characters. Readers were expected to identify with their suffering and admire their sensitivity and virtue. This marks a shift away from the more adventurous, outward-looking narratives of writers such as Defoe towards fiction centered on psychology, emotion, and moral response. Third point, simplicity, spontaneity, and the common people. The Age of Sensibility is often associated with true feeling, with simplicity and naturalness. This is why writers and readers became increasingly interested in rural life, humble people, old ballads, folk traditions, and supposedly less artificial forms of expression. An important English example is Thomas Percy with his Reliques of Ancient Poetry, 1765. This collection of old ballads had a major influence on later literature. It encouraged writers to value traditional and popular forms of poetry, and it helped prepare the ground for romantic interest in the past, in tradition and in the supernatural.